The end of September is here, so that means it's time for another garden update. Now, it's kind of hard to believe that we are at this point in the year, that we're at the end of September and the garden is in this stage, because it seems like we just got started. This summer really flew by for me. But today I'm going to be taking you around my Virginia Zone 7 garden and showing you how things are going right now. And for this garden update, just like all of them, there are some new things happening that you haven't seen before, as well as some things that have gone by the wayside. So I'm excited to give you a look at how things are doing. And also, I just want to let you know that I did recently do a garden harvest video as well. So if you want to see that and see some of the things that I picked in that video, that's a good one to check out as well. So I will link that for you. But now that we've got all that stuff out of the way, let's take a walk around the garden and I'll show you what's going on. So the big thing that's happening in the garden right now is hot peppers. There are hot peppers everywhere. All the plants are doing really great, and we've got so many different varieties as well. So let's look at those first. So this big massive plant here, this is the lemon drop pepper, and this has just gone crazy. This is only one pepper plant, but you can see it has just sprawled and spread and fallen over, and it is covered in these peppers, and they're bright yellow, so they're really easy to spot, which is nice. And there's lots of green ones on here as well, more flowers coming on. So this has just really started cranking out peppers here in the past month or so, a little bit less. You know, I got my first one of these just here recently, and now they're just everywhere, and I've been enjoying them so far. I've been using them in my cooking. They are really, really spicy, but I enjoy their flavor and their heat, and I'm really liking them. And I'm thinking maybe I need to be making some hot sauce or something with these because we have so many. And I don't know, I mean, based on my experience so far, unless something really changes, I think this will be one that I will grow in my garden next year too, because this, it's just doing great, and I really couldn't ask for anything more from my pepper plants. And then there is a second one. I think this is a second one. I don't think this is the same plant. It's kind of hard to tell over here as well. This one seems to be a little bit more behind the other one, but still, it's, you know, they're kind of mixing together, but it's loaded down, and so we'll be getting a lot off of this plant too. And then in this other bed, I have another one of these lemon drop plants. So maybe in the future I don't need this many unless I really just want to crank out these lemon drop peppers, but again, loaded down with peppers. So if you're looking for something that produces really well, at least with my experience this year, this plant has been amazing. Another plant that's doing great is the Brazilian Starfish, and we finally have some ripe peppers. This is the first of the Brazilian Starfishes that have been ready to pick. I've been showing you this through all of my updates and my harvest, and I've been showing you how it's been covered in all of these green fruits, which, I mean, there's a lot of those still there too, but we're finally getting some ripe ones. So I haven't tried this yet. I haven't tasted it. I have no idea what to expect. All I know is it's a hot pepper. It turns red when it's ready to pick, and it has this cool shape. So this one will be really fun to try and see what we think about it as far as flavor goes. And just so you can see the scope, this is another Brazilian Starfish plant that I have in the garden as well. Also starting to get some ripe fruits, and also covered in lots of unripe fruits, and you know, there's more coming on all the time. So hopefully we do like this, because we have a lot of them that we're going to need to eat. Another hot pepper in here that's kind of getting taken over now by the Brazilian Starfish is the Sugar Rush Peach. There aren't any ripe ones on here though. If you want to see some of these, check out the last harvest video, because they are in there. You can see there's one down here that's growing. There are flowers, and there are little buds of them around, but it kind of did, I guess, one big batch, and now it seems like we're going to have to wait a little bit. So hopefully it has enough time to make some more, because I have been enjoying that so far. It is a nice pepper, so it's kind of interesting how it did that one big push, and now we're kind of coming in for a second wave. With the Ralph Thompson Squash pepper, that's this one right here. This one turns red when it's ready to pick. There aren't any out here today. This has been doing okay. These aren't super productive, but they do look really pretty, and they're a nice bright red color. And this one is a hot pepper, but it's not super spicy. I don't find it very spicy at all. So if you don't love the heat as much as I do, but you want something a little spicy and this cool shape, this might be a good one for you. Stepping away from the hot peppers for a moment, let's talk about a sweet pepper. This is the Jimmy Nardello, and these have been doing great. I've got a lot of these around the garden, and they are still producing and doing well. You know, they're a really nice sweet flavor. I love the way these taste, and there's lots of red ones all around the garden that I need to pick, and also lots of green ones. I don't know, this plant, there's a green one down there. Some of the plants have several green ones that still need to ripen, so these are still doing great as well, and they're still producing. Buena Mulata peppers, these are doing great as well. I love these. These might be one of my favorites. They're not super like crazy productive like some of the other plants that I've shown you, but they have a really nice flavor for a hot pepper. I really like them because they have a lot of heat, but then it seems to dissipate quickly. And I mean, that purple color, you just can't beat that. It's gorgeous, but these are still doing great as well. Lots more peppers to pick. So the kind of overview for all the peppers is that basically everything seems to be doing excellent. This Flopsy plant over here is the Ahi Chinchi Amarillo pepper. These also have a gorgeous color. This is another one. Oh, let me get this leaf out of the way. This is another one that I'm growing for the first time this year. Not as productive as some of the others, but it does have a good amount of peppers, and so far I like it. I've only had a few to use, and I can't say that it's like anything special compared to any of the others, but the color is really nice. So I don't have a final verdict on this, whether I'll grow it again yet, but it's kind of just in the middle for me. I'm gonna have to think about it a little bit more. We have one of the jalapeno rows here, which is interspersed with some basil. The basil's looking a little sad. We've had quite a bit of rain here lately. The weather's been kind of weird, but it's still hanging on, and the peppers are still hanging on. These are doing their thing. We've been getting the jalapenos. I like having these because they're just kind of a nice standard thing to have in the garden. We really enjoy them, even though they're not the, really strange colors or flavors or anything like that. They're just a nice, moderate heat pepper to have, and I like doing a lot of them, so we just have them to use in various things. And there's actually one that has gone all the way to red here. You can pick them green, which is, what most of us see them as green peppers, but they will ripen to red if you leave them on the plant. This plant right here is doing a lot better than the others for some reason, but you can see it's a lot taller, and it is loaded down with the green peppers. The one thing about the jalapenos is they are a little bit more difficult to spot than some of the really bright color ones too, but if you look for them, you can find them. And then we have another jalapeno row back here. This one is still doing well. These aren't being quite as productive, I don't think, but they're still good, and this is a different variety too. So I like having the mixture of different varieties in the garden just to mix it up, and sometimes one will do better than the other, and that's okay. Chinese 5-color pepper back here, showing all 5 of its colors. This one is just really pretty, which is why I like to grow it, and it tastes good too. And they're these cute little fun small peppers, but I love at this stage when you can see all 5 colors, and you see we've got this just rainbow of shades here, and it's really attractive in the garden. So I'm very happy with how the peppers have been producing this year. It looks wonderful out here, and it's really exciting, especially because I am growing so many new to me varieties, to have them all seem to be doing well or just far exceeding my expectations. So that's really exciting. The sad part is the tomatoes are basically kaput. I talked about this in the last garden update, so if you want the full story, I'll link that for you because I'm not going to rehash it all here, but basically a lot of the tomatoes have died or just aren't producing, and now we're really not getting any tomatoes at all. I mean, we have a few plants that are hanging on but don't really have much to show in the way of fruit, so I'm just kind of letting them do their thing. They're getting a few green ones, and we'll see what happens. And then like these back here, these are the blush tomatoes. There are a few ripe ones like back in there, so I'm letting this hang on because it is getting us a few, but not nearly the quantity we normally have this time of year. Normally right now, these plants would still be exploding. We would be getting bowls and bowls of tomatoes, because they will just keep going and going and going until our first frost at the end of October. So we're getting a little bit, but it's just not what you would typically have right now, and it's really disappointing, but it's okay. It's part of gardening. It's just some years are like this and things like this happen, and luckily I do have a great farmer's market where I can get tomatoes. Obviously I prefer if I can grow them myself, but I get to support my local farmers, and they're working what they're doing, especially in this season when we've been having all these troubles. I'm happy to give them my money, because if they're putting in the work to fight all this and keep their plants alive and make it happen, then good for them, and they deserve some congratulations and some money for that. But I went to the Heritage Harvest Festival here recently, and I put up a video of that, so I'll link that for you if you want to see my trip there and what that was like. But there, at one of the talks I was at, Craig LaHoulier, who wrote the book Epic Tomatoes, was there talking, and he was just talking about how bad this year has been as far as weather, and how, basically everyone there, their gardens are kind of in the same state where things aren't happening, all the tomatoes are dying, it's just a bad situation. The Heritage Harvest Festival is at Monticello, so I was walking through the gardens there as well, and it gave me a little bit of, comfort to see that their tomatoes look just as awful as mine look, and that it's just kind of the situation this year, and it's not me, it's just that it's just one of those years where the weather wasn't on our side, and you can definitely see the effects of that. In the cucumber world, we have these are actually cucamelons, the Mexican sour gherkins. They're doing great. My cucumbers died a long time ago, if this will focus on the fruit and not my hand. Oh, there we go. They're so cute. I just always love them. So there's lots more out here of these to pick. Fun cucumber citrusy flavor, and they're just so precious. And especially if you can get like a big bowl of them, they look like they're not real. I mean, they look like they're out of a fairy tale or something. So I think this is something I'll always grow just because they're so fun and so different. And the zinnias are making me so happy this year. I'm just so pleased with how these have been doing. This is the best year I've had for zinnias. They look amazing, they're growing, they're huge. I'm just really happy because it's so nice to come out into the garden, especially because I put them in the front this year, to see this spray of bright colors. The butterflies have been loving it. Oftentimes I'll come out here and I'll see 1 or 2 or 3 butterflies buzzing around, flapping around. I guess they don't really buzz, but I mean, just looking at all of these colors and being able to bring them into the house and have beautiful bouquets is really, really exciting. So even though not everything did great this year, I'm happy that the zinnias have really excelled. And actually, since there's so much stuff going on out here, I'm gonna do a little picking and try to collect the stuff that's ripe, and then I will show you everything that I get in today's harvest. So here's a look at tonight's haul. We have good handful of the Mexican sour gherkins. I did get a few tomatoes, so there still are some out there, but like me and Jason could eat these in about 2 seconds. So we'll be thankful for what we have, but I am a little sad still that we don't have more. And then as far as peppers, Jimmy Nardello's on top. You can see a lot of those. I'll try to move some of this stuff out of the way because they're all just kind of piled up in here. Jalapenos, lots of the Brazilian Starfish down in here. Look at all that. It's so exciting. I hope that these taste good. I'm excited to try them. And then got some Buena Mulata peppers, all of those lemon drop peppers, the Ahi Chinchi Amarillo peppers, and you know, it just goes deeper and deeper. You can see this bowl. It's a pretty decent sized mixing bowl, and it's full of mostly hot peppers. So Jason and I can eat a lot of spicy stuff, and we'll use a lot of these, but this is a lot for even us. So I think we're definitely gonna have to do some combination of giving peppers away and pickling some and making hot sauce and all that kind of stuff, because it's a lot of hot peppers. Like I said, Jason and I use a lot of hot peppers in our cooking. We like our food spicy, but even we cannot use all of these between the two of us. So we're gonna figure out something to do with them, especially because I still have hot peppers in the fridge from my last harvest that I'm trying to work through, which I guess is a good problem to have, and I'm not complaining. I'm very happy about it. I just gotta get a plan in place so that I don't lose all of this stuff. But with that said, I hope you enjoyed this look at my garden and a peek at my harvest for today. And let me know in the comments what's going on in your garden, what's doing well, what's not doing so well. Are you getting any big gluts of anything like I am with the peppers? I'd love to hear about all of that. And if you happen to be new here and you want more healthy eating tips and nutrition info and videos like this one, then make sure that you subscribe, because eating healthy and living a healthy lifestyle really doesn't have to be complicated, and I'm going to show you how to do it. And if you want to watch some more videos, I have a couple linked over here that you might like. Thanks for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you next time.